Hey Stoic soul. You wake long before the sun, waiting for a voicemail that never arrives, feeling the weight of absence where laughter once echoed. Your home is quiet, but your mind roars with questions. Why did they stop calling? Was it something I did? Or something I am? You scroll pictures from years ago, replaying warmth and distance at once. There's a sharp sting behind the eyes. Marcus Aurelius taught that the heart shatters not from what happens, but from how tightly we grip what's gone. Pause. Breathe. Today, we don't chase their love or beg for what's withheld. Today, we claim sovereignty, the quiet dignity that remains when all else leaves. If you're ready to meet this pain with clarity, stay. Now slow down, because we're about to talk about the silent power that grows when you let go. You walk through your home, haunted by a hush that's louder than a tantrum ever was. The chairs, the hallway, that ridiculous yellow mug, each one carries fingerprints and memories. You replay their voices in your mind, unsure if you remember the real thing anymore, or just your longing. This silence is not empty. It's brimming with lessons, if only you stay still enough to hear them. Silence has a peculiar sense of humor. It tiptoes in and rearranges the furniture of your mind. Suddenly, the couch is softer, but the cushions sag with the weight of something missing. The kitchen becomes a museum to mismatched sippy cups and breakfast debates, where the exhibit lights flicker on in your memory whenever you pass through. Absence leaves a shape, like a donut with a perfectly round hole, but somehow less tasty. Oh, you'll try to fill it. Maybe you'll stand in the chilled glow of the fridge, pondering the existential crisis of wilted spinach. You shuffle from room to room, narrating your day in a way that would embarrass you if anyone were around to hear. But honestly, the cat doesn't judge, and the houseplants are thriving on the sound waves of your monologues. You'll sometimes talk aloud, testing the echo. Nothing answers back but the hum of the refrigerator, sounding exactly as wise as Marcus Aurelius if Marcus were obsessed with ice production. You become your own soundtrack, the voice that used to say, "Don't jump on the sofa," now says, "Maybe you should meditate, but not on the sofa." The one that said, "Eat your broccoli," transforms into dietary negotiations with yourself at 1 a.m. about the nutritional merits of lonely toast. The background noise is gone, but in its place arrives the theatre of the mind. A memory circus where every act is a snippet, a giggle, a mispronounced dinosaur's name, and a whisper of the past. You notice now the things you missed. The way the afternoon sun finds the toy fire truck abandoned on the carpet. The unmistakable crunch of a rogue goldfish cracker underfoot, even as you think, "I just vacuumed." The silence sharpens your senses. Now that the curtain has fallen on the chaotic opera of daily mess, you hear new music, the subtle rumble of your radiator, the occasional pop of the walls settling, the secret rhythm of your own breathing. For perhaps the first time, you're not listening for trouble or another request for juice. You're listening for yourself. In the Stoic tradition, this is the terrain of reflection. Zeno would suggest the quiet is a form of practice, a workshop for the soul. For Seneca, the hush is not a prison, but a canvas. What will you paint with this time and this space? Will you doodle a mustache on your memories, or simply admire the empty wall, unfinished but wide open? Stoics knew that emptiness is not blankness, it's potential. The void isn't the end of their voices, it's the echo chamber where yours can finally grow. And sometimes that means letting the sadness in, petting it gently, and inviting it to sit beside you on the couch, without judgment or hurrying it away. After all, grief has excellent taste in throw pillows. But the emptiness isn't griefs alone. This is where your next chapter is supposed to begin. The absence is fertile ground for rediscovery and for not taking yourself as seriously as that motivational mug would suggest. Carve out a little laughter in the void, even if it's just at the memory of stepping on a plastic unicorn at 3 a.m. So, rest for a moment. Let the silence nest around you. It is dense, yes, and sometimes heavy, but it also hums with the gentle possibility of your own voice returning. You're not erasing the sounds that came before. You're layering them, like all great symphonies do. In the stillness, something grows, a resilience, a lighter heart, perhaps even a fresh new song that belongs to you. You count the days, mark the calendar. Your phone is a shrine. It's silence both jury and jailer. What if they just don't want you anymore? You cling to expectations of reunion, of gratitude, of them remembering every sacrifice. But as the Stoics warn, expectation is a subtle thief. It steals your presence, replaces it with craving. The world owes you nothing, especially love you demanded. Let's picture expectation for a second. A velvet-robed magician with a dazzling smile, pulling anticipation after anticipation from a battered top hat. You, in the audience, ooh and ah, until he slips behind the curtain, and you realize your wallet is missing. Except it's not money he took. It's your present moment. All the delightful weirdness of now, gone, traded for a recycled daydream where people finally appreciate your Microsoft Excel skills at the office potluck. Or your barista finally spells your name right. Expectation, Epictetus grumbled, is a recipe for misery. Imagine Epictetus with a smartphone, repeatedly checking for blue ticks and typing notifications, only to realize that inner peace does not arrive through instant messaging. The Stoics suggest a bold alternative. Drop your script. Embrace the improv show of life, where every new scene makes zero sense, and your co-stars forget their lines, step on your cues, and sometimes just leave the stage altogether to go get tacos. How dare they? You hand them a monologue and they reply with interpretive dance. That's life. Our culture turns expectation into a competitive sport, the Olympics of anticipation. Who can yearn the hardest? Who can assume the most? You anticipated a thank you, but got a nod and a coffee ring on your report. You expected validation, but instead received 3 emojis and a thumbs up, the digital equivalent of a pat on the head and good boy. Your grand gesture of love received via text, K. You revise your dreams. Now you just wish for a complete sentence. This doesn't mean blunting your emotions or becoming the human equivalent of a houseplant. Emotionless, placid, surviving on indirect sunlight. Expectations are sneaky. They dress up as hope, ambition, or planning. Then, quietly smuggle in disappointment when the world doesn't vote you prom king or pay you back those $3 from 5 years ago. The Stoic sees this, raises an eyebrow, and laughs. A quiet, internal chuckle at the absurdity of scripting an improv play. Your mother told you to never expect anything and you'll never be disappointed. But she neglected to mention the secret power of this advice. When you expect nothing, every little thing is a victory parade. Someone responds to your email. Release the confetti. Your friend calls just to talk about ducks they saw on their lunch break. Build them a statue. Put it in the city square of unexpected joys. Modern Stoicism doesn't forbid hope or ambition. It simply teaches you to wear them lightly, to set down your storybook ending so you can marvel at the plot twists. Your promotion request becomes a curiosity, not a prophecy. Your crush's response is a weather report, not your soulmate's signature. Sometimes they rain, sometimes they're all sunshine and no umbrella. What's left when you peel away expectation? You, the unflappable witness in the middle of life's carnival, enjoying the spectacle, not waiting for the main act to finally get your name right. The real trap of expectation is that it's a vending machine with a cardboard slot. You punch in your code, a 5, recognition, B2, unconditional love, and nothing clunks down. You shake the machine, curse the universe, shake harder. The Stoic, by contrast, sees the machine, reads the sign, out of order since 300 BCE, shrugs, and goes for a walk, quietly amused at the parade of loyal customers lining up with their quarters. And if you get lucky, if your coin, once in a while, actually lands you a candy bar, treat it like a marvel, not a debt repaid. So unclench your wish grip, retire your crystal ball. Let presents rush back in to fill the vacuum where wanting once lived. By freeing yourself from the trap of expectation, you finally unshackle the only person who needs releasing, yourself. The world, dazzling in its unpredictability, is ready for your applause. Not for how well it followed your plan, but for how beautifully it danced around it. You remember every toy, every night you stayed up while they coughed, the way your back still aches from carrying more than groceries. Is this really your reward? The ancient Stoics urge us to serve without calculation. Your love was never a deposit for their visits. Real virtue asks for no receipt. It only asks that you stand tall, even when unthanked. One of the greatest paradoxes of parenting. The more you give, the more invisible your giving becomes. Think about it, your children probably don't remember the number of times you stealthily swapped out a feverish pillow or hunted for the lost sock lurking under Mount Laundry. But they'll remember when you forget to buy the right brand of grape juice. In the high-stakes stock market of appreciation, you might feel like a penny stock, but Marcus Aurelius would advise you to invest in your duties, not in dividends of gratitude. True service, he argued, is its own reward, not to mention wildly less taxable. Modern psychology agrees. Unconditional love forms the foundation for resilient adults. But what does unconditional really mean when your inner voice wants to send them an invoice every time they text? What's for dinner from the other room? The Stoics would have you swap "what's in it for me" with "what does this moment call for?" Sometimes it calls for a bedtime story. Sometimes it calls for a heroic stifling of laughter after their vegetable soup tastes suspiciously like water, an existential dread. Picture Epictetus at a parent-teacher conference. He'd probably say, control what you can, prepare for disappointment in the cafeteria's definition of whole grains. You did not sign up for applause. You signed up for guiding, for shaping, for accepting the epic drama of sticky fingers and chaotic mornings. Parenting is not a series of transactions. Yet our brains, ever eager for spreadsheets, love to tally the late nights and early mornings. But did Seneca ever complain that he hadn't been invited over to his mother's house for meatloaf? No, he would simply say, do good and let go of the rest. Modern Stoicism, armed with noise-cancelling headphones and selective amnesia for unsolicited teenager rants, still practices the same wisdom. Think of all the superhero capes you've metaphorically worn. The ones that didn't come with capes at all. Nurse, coach, unlicensed hairdresser, pop-up philosopher. You hold all these roles in your hands every day, rarely getting paid, and never receiving an official performance review. Well, unless you count fridge magnets shaped like clapping hands. And when the small tokens do arrive, a handmade card, an awkward hug, the rare thanks mom, mumbled through morning breath. Cherish them, but let them pass like the smell of midnight diaper changes. They are not payments, they are wildflowers blown in by the wind, reminders that love, in its truest form, has the best ROI when you stop counting. So stand tall on the thankless nights. Stand taller on the mornings when no one notices. your legacy is invisible but invincible, stitched quietly into the habits, values, and hearts of the people you've helped form. The Stoics remind us, great virtue rarely comes with an audience. The applause is in the act itself, the quiet, nightly rehearsal of love without expectation, the repeated offering of presents, even when no one's watching, or at least when they're watching TikTok instead of you. In the end, you discover the highest Stoic secret. The reward was never in the getting, but in the giving, over and over, without tally or transaction. And, if nothing else, you can always congratulate yourself for mastering the art of finding Legos in the dark. That's real wisdom in action. You draft messages in your head, rehearse apologies for mistakes both real and imagined. If you say the right thing, will they appear? You crave control over their feelings, their schedules, your own pain. Seneca smiles from the past. We suffer more in imagination than in reality. You cannot control their journeys. You can only master your own heart. The voice in your mind is persuasive. If I'm always cheerful, if I never say what I really think, if I answer every text with precisely the right meme, maybe everything will work out. But in the endless drama of life, you're not screenwriter, director, and lead actor all at once. Sometimes you're just a supporting cast member or, let's be honest, a tree in the background. It's hard to let go of the feeling that, with enough effort and forethought, you could rearrange fate itself. You could build a clever enough spreadsheet to predict human behavior. Spoiler, you can't. You could wear a lucky sweater. You could become so accommodating, so inoffensive, the universe would have no choice but to bend to your will. But Stoicism, in its dry, grandfatherly voice, leans in and says, the universe is chaos in a very tidy disguise. Control is a sugar substitute for real certainty, a flavor with none of the nutritional value. Try as we might, we can't manage anyone else's mind, translate our love into a contract, or build a fence sturdy enough to keep heartbreak on the other side. And yet we try. We check our phones like lifeguards scanning the sea for swimmers. We storyboard our interactions, rehearsing lines and pauses, wishing we could blue pencil away awkward moments in real time. Maybe if you use just enough exclamation points, they'll reply. Maybe if you show the right blend of indifference and emotional availability, you'll win the cosmic lottery of connection. Even Marcus Aurelius, who literally ruled an empire and who probably couldn't have managed a group chat, reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. There is comfort in this once you stop fighting it. One by one, release your imagined controls. Release the scenario where you say the perfect thing and they fall in love again. Release the anxious rehearing of old conversations. Let your mind rejoin your body in the only place you can ever be present. Now. Now breathe. Notice the shape of your thoughts, the way your jaw clenches, how your shoulders rise imperceptibly each time uncertainty knocks at your door. There's serenity hiding in the realization that the future is not yours to micromanage. If the universe is a messy desk, be content with organizing your own pencil cup. It's exhausting, lugging around the weight of everyone else's choices, as if you, armed only with courtesy and quick jokes, could redirect their storms. You can be kind, but you cannot guarantee that kindness is returned in the same wrapping. You can show up authentically, but applause is never promised. Life is a drama, yes, but nobody gave you the script for someone else's part. So, this evening, as you drift towards sleep, quietly fire yourself as the world's manager. Your only real job is tending your soul's garden, pruning your own thoughts, watering the roots of resilience, deadheading the wilting anxieties that bloomed without your permission. The rest, the uncontrollable, the unpredictable, can fall and float by like clouds in a sky Seneca himself would have admired. Yes, you may want control, but want is just a whisper in the storm. Let it go. Your peace, after all, is yours alone. You tell yourself you're above it all, but every untouched birthday makes the old wounds itch. A storm brews under your calm, resentment disguised as mature acceptance. The Stoic discipline isn't to suppress this storm, but to air it out, to let light dilute the poison. Speak your truth, then return to silence, not as punishment, but as artful self-respect. Resentment is the slow drip of vinegar into your morning coffee. At first, you notice a hint of something sour and hope it'll be masked by your usual habit of over-sweetening things with rationalizations. People didn't call. They forgot. Or perhaps they remembered and just didn't care enough to reach out. The story curls tighter around your chest, a snake eating itself, until your own breathing starts to taste like revenge fantasy. In the language of modern Stoicism, holding on to resentment is like keeping an expired carton of milk at the back of the fridge, hoping one day you'll get so used to the smell, it won't bother you anymore. Spoiler, it always will. Seneca didn't recommend making cheese out of old grievances. Being above it all is a gymnastic pose your mind performs, a balancing act between clinging and letting go. But silent resentment is a cunning opponent. It slinks through your internal dialogue disguised as dignity and detachment. You nod in conversation, but in your head, you're cross-examining every slight, with the flair of a frustrated courtroom drama extra. No, Your Honor, I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed. Stoic wisdom would urge you to acknowledge the feeling, not to weaponize it, not to post it cryptically on social media, and definitely not to let it ferment into a high-proof grudge. Air out your grievances the Stoic way, not with accusation, but with compassionate curiosity. Imagine you're hosting a talk show for your thoughts. Today's guest. That time, Alex didn't call you back. Ask gentle, ridiculous questions. Dear resentment, if you had a favorite pizza topping, what would it be? Suddenly, the monster under your bed is a sock puppet performing Shakespeare. When you step into open dialogue, even if it's a monologue at first, resentment starts to dissolve in the sunlight of your own honesty. Silent resentment is a black mold for the soul. It breeds in dark, neglected corners. Modern Stoics try to book a recurring cleaning service. Don't wait for someone else to notice the weeds growing through your mental sidewalk. Identify them yourself, pluck the ones you can, and laugh at the gnarly roots left behind. If you catch yourself sighing 3 times in a row while explaining for the 1000th time, it's fine, really. Consider this the universe's cue to check the expiration dates in your emotional pantry. Speak your truth. With humour, if possible. It mildly annoyed me that you ate the last piece of cake. Is this how the ancient Greeks felt about the last fig Newton? Receiving validation is nice, but the aim isn't applause. It's release. Express. Then let silence follow. Not the cold shoulder, but a comfortable exhale. Like Marcus Aurelius journaling by candlelight, muttering, "Today I let go of hoping my legion remembered my birthday." Self-respect is not the silent treatment. It's the ability to hold your boundaries without retreating into bitterness. You decide what energy gets to live rent-free in your psyche. Invite your feelings in, serve them tea, then politely show them the door when their stories finish. Mastery isn't immunity to hurt. Mastery is knowing that your narrative isn't cemented by slights and omissions. When you're tempted to put on your invisible crown of cool detachment, remember, real Stoicism is less royal, more local librarian. Systematically organizing, cataloging, and, if necessary, quietly weeding out books titled How I Was Wronged, Volume 17. Don't let yourself become a tragic anti-hero, muttering soliloquies to the ghosts of grudges past. Good Stoic. Practice means transforming old resentments into wisdom, and occasionally into material for deliciously dry internal monologues. Let the silence that follows be peace, not punishment. Release what weighs you down, and let your soul lounge, unburdened, on the Stoic chaise lounge of self-respect. Who are you now that dinner is quiet? Plans are solo. Your calendar gapes wide. You feel obsolete, a tool made useless by progress. Yet here lies your freedom. Marcus Aurelius framed it. What's left is enough if you use it well. There is no expiry date on purpose. The new chapter might be yours alone to write. And that is its own kind of beautiful. Picture yourself as an astronaut, flung into orbit around a mysterious planet. Not abandoned, but released. The humming systems of your previous mission, text messages, dinner for two recipes, your shoe rack's single-minded obsession with pears, are silent now. The world awaits your new purpose, blinking expectantly in the cosmic dark. Annoyingly, nobody hands you a cosmic map. The original Roman Stoics, they didn't get a map either. If you asked Epictetus for GPS directions, he'd probably just smirk and say, "You're already here. Might as well look around." You do not suddenly become less you because someone has exited the constellation of your life. The Greeks called it eudaimonia, flourishing, not because your garden is weed-free, but because you decided to plant seeds. You are not a spare part on the shelf. You are the whole toolbox, duct tape, WD-40, and mystical IKEA Allen wrench combined. When was the last time you asked, what feeds my curiosity now? Who do I want to become when no one else is peeking? Let's try a little experiment. After you listen to this, take a scrap of paper and scroll down one outlandish, you only wish. Not the efficient practical one, the bizarre one. Learn to play the jaw harp. Volunteer to teach coding in Iceland. Write a letter to your childhood self and actually mail it. Good luck finding the address. The Stoics saw purpose as a fire, not a lamp switched on by someone else. The fire can burn in solitude, and sometimes it crackles louder when nobody tells it how bright to shine. This, right here, is the workshop of your identity. If your we once took up too much space, now your I can unfold to cathedral size. Of course, there will be moments when you eye the empty calendar and feel the urge to panic schedule a Tupperware webinar. You could do that. Or you could sign up for a random library talk and show up with absolutely no expectations. Not to find love or a new tribe, just to be curious again. Purpose is not a spectator sport. It might look like aimlessness to the outside world, rambling walks, attending origami classes, rearranging your socks by colour and emotional resonance. But here, graced by inattention, you can reacquaint yourself with the version of you that doesn't need external applause. Fun fact: the Stoics' greatest hits were recorded in times of isolation and loss. Enchiridion wasn't a party playlist. It was a survival mixtape. Try not to memorialise your old purpose like it's a beloved sitcom that got cancelled too soon. Every era was once awkward and unfamiliar. Reruns are comforting, but new episodes are where growth happens. When Marcus Aurelius wrote those lines about using what remains, he was emperor of half the world, and still writing reminders for himself. You can write your own reminders too. Today, I chose not to spiral. Today, I gave a damn about something small. Reclaiming purpose is not a victory parade. It is a series of dorky experiments. Sometimes your soul will yodel off key. That's okay. The most honourable thing you can do is keep showing up. Try, flub, recalibrate, celebrate tiny victories. Maybe adopt a bewildered turtle if you really want to shake things up. So, as quiet settles and the landscape transforms, know your freedom is not in how much you're needed, but in how deeply you're willing to belong to yourself. Plant new seeds, invent private rituals, become fluent in your own delight. In the wide openness after loss, you are not empty, you're uncrowded. The rest of your story remains unwritten, and perhaps, finally, entirely yours. You falter between hoping for a text and vowing to cut them out for good. The Stoics saw boundaries not as fortresses, but as gardens, the border between care for others and loyalty to oneself. You can love your children and still refuse their behavior to dictate your peace. You owe them love, not your emotional weather. So, what does a Stoic garden boundary look like? Picture a small fence, not one electrified or laced with barbed wire, but a polite little divider. It says, "This is my space. You may enter, but please wipe your feet. And if you try to plant drama in my Zen vegetable patch, kindly relocate your tomatoes elsewhere." Boundaries in this sense are less like thick medieval castle walls and more like the friendly hedgerow between neighbours in a British sitcom. Everyone knows the rules, but the tea is always ready if you knock. Let's be real though. Enforcing boundaries can feel like handcrafting origami swans during a hurricane, especially when that hurricane is named family gathering or group chat. The Stoics, however, believe that boundaries are invitations to mutual respect, not invitations to Cold War standoffs. You say, "No, I cannot lend you my car so you can drive to the world's loudest music festival." And you smile calmly, knowing that refusing someone else's chaos is what Marcus Aurelius meant by, "You have power over your mind, not outside events, or over your Toyota, at least." And here's the core joke of philosophy. If you try to be all things to all people, you end up like the Wi-Fi at a crowded coffee shop, overloaded, wobbly, and ultimately dropping the connection when you need it most. Stoicism says that it's actually an act of love to establish a boundary, because you serve others best when you're stable, rested, and not secretly monitoring every vibration of your phone for another guilt trip, text. It's important to remember that boundaries are not ultimatums. They aren't designed to punish or exile. They are simply signals. This is my line between what lifts me up and what wears me thin. Epictetus would say, you have a duty to yourself first, for only then do you have anything to offer anyone else. A Stoic paradox perhaps, but one with excellent emotional return on investment. Consider the art of saying no without sounding like an emotionally unavailable scarecrow. The Stoic approach is to separate the deed from the doer. I care about you, but I'm not okay with this behavior. My peace is non-negotiable, even on sale days. Picture this as you handing someone your best houseplant. Phil the Fern would like to stay hydrated, but not drowned, thank you. Rather than setting off your home security alarms the moment someone walks up the driveway. You can cherish someone and still protect your own tranquility. Sometimes love means standing firm with your no and waving gently while doing so. If they accept, wonderful. If they rage text you 12 paragraphs at midnight, that's for their emotional garden to weed. After all, setting a limit doesn't mean you're slamming the door. It means you're opening a window to let in fresh air. And maybe, if you're feeling hospitable, a little sunlight. At the day's end, boundaries are the bridges we build to connect with others honestly, minus the emotional toll booths. Not every traveller belongs on your private island. But you can always keep the drawbridge in working order just in case they show up with respect. And maybe pastries. Always accept pastries. Indifference is not coldness. It's the art of loving without bondage. Epictetus grins. want nothing that is not yours. When you master indifference, you stop thirsting for their call, not because you don't care, but because your joy is built on bedrock, not borrowed attention. That freedom, it's contagious. Sometimes they return, not when you beg, but when you let go. Let's visit ancient Rome for a minute. Imagine Epictetus, slippers squeaking gently on marble, calmly sipping his ancient version of oat milk latte. People come to him, eyes wide with heartbreak, clutching scrolls of unanswered texts. He listens kindly, then asks, "Why offer your peace as tribute to someone else's whims? Would you gift your house keys to a passing goose?" Extraordinary wisdom. The Stoics didn't advocate shutting down your feelings. They suggested building a weatherproof roof over your emotional house. Indifference is the gentle insulation, protecting your calm from freezing blizzards or boiling heat of other people's drama. Feelings will knock at your door. Let them in politely, offer them tea, but don't let them take over the couch indefinitely. We're going for Airbnb, not squatters' rights. Sleepy listener, consider the serenity found in not chasing. Imagine someone running around a field, trying to catch a butterfly. They trip. The butterfly, unimpressed by the spectacle, meanders elsewhere. But when you sit, notice the flowers, appreciate the moment. Suddenly, the butterfly lands on your shoulder, probably for your stoic composure. No butterfly wants to be begged for attention. They're far too busy being aesthetically pleasing and confusing scientists. To practice indifference, adopt the legendary Stoic shrug. Not apathy, not numbness, but the cosmic meh. Your friend forgets your birthday? Shrug and eat the cake yourself. Extra frosting. The universe forgot to grant you a Nobel Prize. Shrug and crown yourself winner of Most Patient in Traffic. Life is lighter when you're not handcuffed to expectation. But beware. Modern society confuses indifference with icy detachment. Real indifference is warm. You care, but your dignity remains unpawned. Your self-worth isn't a cryptocurrency. It doesn't wildly fluctuate depending on someone's mood, Wi-Fi signal, or whether they put a heart on your DM. You are enough, even if your inbox is emptier than a philosopher's pockets during a toga sale. Consider this your invitation to the Stoic Talent Show. The dazzling feat of not reacting excessively. The less you audition for the approval of others, the more your own applause echoes in the chill chambers of your mind. That's inner music. It attracts people, just as silence oddly draws secrets out of extroverts at a dinner party. Some fear indifference means losing their edge, like a knife that's too dull to care. But actually, it sharpens you. When you don't long for validation, your presence grows magnetic. The world senses your peace. And sometimes even the ex who left you on red. Indifference is the undefeated champion of playing hard to get. Not out of manipulation, but out of wholeness. Remember, loving without clinging is not the same as loving less. It means the joy in your heart is solar-powered, not running on unreliable generators. Every time you let go, you reclaim your agency from annoying crushes, algorithmic approval, or the day's little indignities. Sleep. Knowing the gift of indifference is not a cold space. It's a hearth only you can tend. If others wish to warm themselves at your fire, they'll arrive unbidden, drawn by the gentle glow of your untroubled mind. So drift softly, listener, surrounded by the comfort of your own stoic stillness. The world will spin. Butterflies will flutter. You, serenely indifferent, simply exhale. What if your silence, your steady presence, is the lesson they carry forward? Children observe more than we preach. Maybe your dignity, your lack of bitterness, is the gift you hand down. Seneca wrote, "Show them how a wise soul endures. They may not come back for dinner, but they might carry your strength into every storm." Becoming the Stoic example is less about standing on a mountaintop in a Greek toga and more about sitting on the couch with your phone at 3 a.m, resisting the urge to answer that passive-aggressive group chat. The real lessons happen in moments when no one's clapping for your restraint, when the only witness is the ticking of the kitchen clock, your dog snoring in the corner, or possibly an annoyed teenager pretending not to listen from behind a closed door. A true Stoic teaches by aura. You grow skilled in the noble art of not making things worse. You become an expert at deploying the strategic eyebrow raise or the well-timed sip of tea, refusing to escalate the drama when life starts turning up the volume. Your integrity, the way you weather the rolled eyes and long silences, becomes an invisible scaffold, the thing making it safe for everyone else to drop their shields, even if only for a moment. It can feel like nothing is sinking in. Maybe what you say bounces off your loved ones like those motivational fridge magnets. There, but basically ignored. That's the trick. The Stoic example isn't about instant feedback, applause, or even acknowledgement. Sometimes it's about keeping your own house in order in the hope that one day someone else decides to open their windows and let a little of that steadiness in. Remember, Marcus Aurelius never dunked on anyone. In a family WhatsApp group, he wrote his meditations in private, probably half asleep in his version of sweatpants, with barbarians figuratively and literally at the gate. He practiced not becoming what he despised, not even when the world was loud and unfair. Imagine Marcus's kid texting at the dinner table for the 5th time. Would he rage or simply watch, practicing patience, knowing that the lessons worth learning are caught, not taught? Sometimes being the Stoic example is less about grand gestures and more about quietly resisting the gravitational pull of bitterness. You'll feel the urge to prove a point, have the last word, or relive old arguments, like they're episodes of your least favourite sitcom. But you'll also feel a deeper urge, a calling almost, to let things settle, to show by the way you return to your coffee or fold the laundry that peace is possible in your presence. People may wonder if you care less because you react less. But the opposite is true. It takes enormous strength to remain a steady, kind witness to chaos without letting it make you hard or cynical. Real stoicism is the gentle recalibration after the storm, the way you quietly tidy up, metaphorically and literally, so others aren't tripping over yesterday's emotional debris. The fun part is, most will never notice your teaching. You don't get a gold star for biting your tongue, or a trophy for the time you walked away before things got out of hand. But over time, something grows. Friends and family find themselves using your phrase. Maybe you're super calm, let's think it through. They start adopting your pause, your deep breaths, your talent for holding off on judgment until the whole story's out. To become the Stoic example is not to be cold, unfeeling, or detached from the lives around you. It's to be the anchor, steady, present, generous, even when exhausted. You become the person that others lean on, often without realizing it. You won't always know the effect you've had, but that rippling peace, the sense that storms can be faced and survived, will move quietly through those you love, long after the noise of arguments has faded. You survived every tantrum, every slammed door, every infectious giggle and eye roll. Now you face the loneliest challenge, yourself. Detachment isn't retreat, it's a return. You rediscover quiet joys, forgotten hobbies, sides of yourself that waited patiently behind the curtain of parenthood. This is your awakening, the moment you stop waiting and start living boldly as your own. You start to notice the simple things again, the warmth of a coffee mug cradled between your hands, the quiet pride that comes with finishing a book, or the sudden realization that you can now eat ice cream straight from the carton without hiding it behind a bag of frozen peas. No one judges. No one asks for a bite. There's just you, a spoon, and the kind of pleasure you forgot existed somewhere in the frenzied fog of raising tiny humans and refereeing their gladiatorial sock battles. It is tempting, at first, to fill your newfound emptiness with distractions. Endless scrolls through social feeds, spontaneous home improvement projects, or existential deep dives into whether parrots understand irony. But notice how, in the hush, those needs settle. Your heartbeat is suddenly audible, steady, ancient. You remember laughter not born of obligation, but of genuine amusement, like when your dog silently judges your downward dog. Your days are stitched together by the gentle insistence of small routines, watering a mournful houseplant that, against all odds, continues its own stoic vigil, stepping outside just to feel the sun. No longer someone's chauffeur, just a weary philosopher in flip-flops. Even doing laundry transforms. Socks become meditations in miniature, their separations less sorrowful, their reunions a reminder that life, like drawers, eventually finds balance. You may look for witnesses to this transformation, a congratulatory text, a supportive nudge from a friend, even a cat's approving glance. But true rebirth is quiet. There is no parade. No world's most improved hermit trophy arrives in the mail. Growth is unglamorous by design and, as Epictetus would no doubt remind you, all things preferred, but not required. Now, the applause you need comes from within. A self that endures. A self that has learned. Regrets sneak in sometimes, silent as old dust bunnies. You wish you'd started sooner or been gentler with your own flaws. But you shrug, finally fluent in the ancient Stoic art of letting go. You laugh ruefully, imagining Marcus Aurelius meditating in sweatpants because his toga shrank in the wash. Dignity isn't about starched linen or polished speeches. It's a quiet strength that persists, even while microwaving leftovers on a Tuesday night. You absolve yourself from measuring success by anyone else's timeline. Your happiness is not a performance. You no longer audition for approval. Try to choreograph your life to the shifting tastes of others. You simply walk, sometimes with trembling steps, into the open space that is yours, and, miraculously, find it welcoming. It was always meant for you. Now you are both the sculptor and the clay, chiseling away expectations, sanding down old grudges, marveling at what emerges. Your boundaries are no longer fortress walls, but garden hedges, living, flexible, inviting rest, and, yes, the occasional weeding. Loneliness sweetens into solitude. Your thoughts become kinder, your self-talk less of a critic and more of a coach. You are proud, but quietly so. And, now Stoic soul, breathe in the hush. Hear it not as absence, but as invitation, a blank page. Your worth is not measured by their calls, nor your virtue counted in visits. You are the oak, unmoved by passing storms, roots deep in clarity, dignity, and quiet power. Thank yourself for arriving at this moment, for choosing discipline over pity, for trading the noise of resentment for the stillness of real strength. In this silence, you are not abandoned. You are unburdened. Remember, you don't need an audience to live nobly. Let your calm, your boundaries, your undemanding love echo across time. Silent proof that you mastered what mattered most. Yourself. Walk quietly. Walk free. And now, Stoic soul, breathe in the hush. Hear it not as absence, but as invitation. A blank page. Your worth is not measured by their calls, nor your virtue counted in visits. You are the oak, unmoved by passing storms, roots deep in clarity, dignity, and quiet power. Thank yourself for arriving at this moment, for choosing discipline over pity, for trading the noise of resentment for the stillness of real strength. In this silence, you are not abandoned. You are unburdened. Remember, you don't need an audience to live nobly. Let your calm, your boundaries, your undemanding love echo across time. Silent proof that you mastered what mattered most, yourself. Walk quietly, walk free,